Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 10th anniversary celebration live streaming of L'ÉCOLE School of Jewelry Arts, supported by Cleef and Arpels. I'm Ines Ida Gay-Eckel, jewelry historian based in Paris with L'ÉCOLE. I'll guide you through this celebration of L'ÉCOLE's 10 years in this exciting one-hour event. Before we start, please allow me to provide some housekeeping rules for our online audiences. This live streaming is joined by friends of L'ÉCOLE in mainly 3 cities, Paris, Hong Kong, and Shanghai, and many others all around the world. If you're located in mainland China, please feel free to select your server as China with the drop-down menu just above the Visio player. Other audiences can stay with the default server. You can also select your language preference on the same drop-down menu. This event is conducted in English. Simultaneous interpretation, simultaneous translations in Mandarin and French are provided once you choose Mandarin or French in the same bar. We'll have an interactive online quiz for you, which you can join via the platform Slido in just a little while. Please get your smartphone ready for scanning a QR code so you can play. Finally, if you encounter any technical problems, please press the support button on this page and we'll have experts replying to you in English and Chinese. All right, let's get started. Let's have a look where we are. Where am I right now? Right behind you, the Place Vendôme column, this place, this heart of high jewelry making since the 19th century. And this is where L'ÉCOLE's story actually started. The Place Vendôme was Louis XIV's idea to make really the first modern luxury real estate development. This is the creme de la creme of that idea. Jules Mansart built the exteriors, these exquisite exteriors, and then you hired your own architect to build backward. Just to give a few tidbits. L'Hôtel d'Evreux, back there where L'ÉCOLE started, was built by an extraordinarily wealthy financier, Antoine Crozat, who also built the Ritz. What's the Ritz now? For himself. Those 2 buildings, the beginning of the Hôtel d'Evreux and also the Ritz, are the only 2 buildings on Place Vendôme that have communicating doors. Because his daughter was lonely. He married his daughter off to the Comte d'Evreux. That's why it's called Hôtel d'Evreux. And she wanted to be able to go see her dad. Now in that Ritz, behind that column, we have these luxury bathrooms. We had Chef Escoffier. This is why the jewelers ended up coming here, because this really was, you could think, the place in the world, the equivalent of the early 20th century of the hashtag must do, must see, really the mall for all the world. And by the way, that column, which marks it so much, do you know what the story is behind that? It's unbelievable. Napoleon melted down the columns from the Battle of Austerlitz from the Austrians and built that with the metal and put himself at the top like Julius Caesar. Why not? And all around are the stories of his exploits, glorifying himself like the column of Trajan in Rome. Without further ado, enough of the history of the Place Vendôme. Let's go inside to the Hôtel de Ségur, the home of L'ÉCOLE, and let's give the floor to Nicolas Boss, President and CEO of Cleef and Arpels, and Marie Vallonnet, President of L'ÉCOLE, so that they can take us further into our celebration of L'ÉCOLE's birthday. Shall we go?
Dear students and friends of L'ÉCOLE, joining us from all around the world, welcome. Inesita has said it very well. The story of L'ÉCOLE started in 2012. February 14, Valentine's Day. And today is exactly the 10th birthday of this wonderful school. 10 years ago, we opened L'ÉCOLE School of Jewelry Arts. So it's with a certain emotion that I welcome you all today and I invite you on a little tour of this decade. How we started? We founded in 2012 with the support of the Maison, Cleef and Arpels. L'ÉCOLE was created to open up the world of jewelry to the widest possible audience. Tokyo was our first destination outside Paris, where we organized our first nomadic school for our Japanese students in 2013. L'École settled down in the Hôtel de Ségur, close to Place Vendôme in Paris, in 2014 as its first permanent home. With Flora, in 2015, we started our tradition of publishing books on jewelry, adding up to 11 books and 15 exhibition catalogs to date. L'École established the research department in 2017, which continues to complement our jewelry knowledge and led to new courses, exhibitions, and publications on little-known topics. L'École's scientific council is made up of experts from the academics, museum, and scientific spheres, ensuring the consistency of our educational approach, the relevance of our pedagogical content, and our research orientations. In 2017, l'École started this saga of exhibitions inside and outside of France. Our first exhibition features the amazing work of contemporary artists such as Daniel Brush or Arumi Klosowska de Rola, as well as incredible private jewelry collections, such as the one displayed in the exhibition Through the Eyes of a Connoisseur in Dubai. Exhibitions then traveled to other cities in the world, including Tokyo, New York, and Hong Kong. After 3 successful nomadic editions in Hong Kong, l'École found its second home at K11 Musea in the city and officially opened its first permanent school outside Paris in 2019, l'École Asia Pacific. In 2020, l'École digital presence grew, and we started to host live online conversations. By freeing us of geographical limits, l'École brought knowledge and joy to art and jewelry lovers around the globe. And each month, we meet with them on various subjects. In a few days, Inesita will welcome you on Zoom from New York, telling you about marvelous jewels in the Middle Ages. In 2021, l'École Asia Pacific presented the exhibition The Art of Gold, featuring Chinese gold jewels and ornaments spanning over 3,000 years from the local collection Mangdue Chan, based in Hong Kong. It was the first l'École exhibition dedicated to savoir-faire, goldsmithing techniques from ancient China and beyond, paying tribute to the jewelry heritage and craftsmanship. Over 10 years, more than 50,000 students of over 50 different nationalities have been welcomed in Paris, Hong Kong, and during our trips abroad. And over 100,000 visitors have come to the 18 exhibitions held at different locations of l'École. All throughout this celebratory year, l'École will continue to innovate and explore. And now, I leave the floor to Nicolas Bos, President and CEO of Van Cleef & Arpels. Nicolas.
Thank you very much, Marie. Very nice to be with you all this morning, this afternoon. I'm just going to add a few words to the presentation introduced by Inesita and Marie, and come back 10 years ago on the reason why we created l'École. I think it all started with a conviction at Van Cleef & Arpels, being jewelers, that jewelry is really a form of art which deserves to be better known, which deserves to be better introduced, and which is not limited to a commercial category that you can experience in the windows of a beauty food store. And we knew, because we are jewelers, that our category, jewelry, is indeed at the crossroads of the history of art, of craftsmanship, and natural science. And from that conviction, we developed also an intuition that education would probably be the best way to convey that culture and to open up the access to the vast amount of knowledge that we could provide, but that were sometimes difficult to find or a bit hidden. There were a few exhibitions, there were a few beautiful jewelry galleries in some museums, there were some books, obviously, there were some experts, but a wide audience didn't necessarily have access to these resources. So this is why we created L'ÉCOLE. Marie described very precisely all these achievements in 10 years. I must say that as the president of Van Cleef & Arpels, I'm more than happy, more than pleased to see and witness these achievements. They have actually gone beyond what we thought of, what we imagined when we created that initiative 10 years ago. So we've described the last 10 years, the school today, and I'm very happy this morning, this afternoon, to announce a third permanent campus that is going to open in Shanghai on the location of these twin villas in a few months. And I'm going to show you a small movie on this new site. At the same time, I'm extremely pleased to announce another important step for L'ÉCOLE in China, which is the launch of our official WeChat account, which you're going to be able to connect to through the QR code that you see right now on the screen. So we'll be very happy to welcome you, both physically on this new site and also virtually on our WeChat presence. You know that the theme of L'ÉCOLE for this 10th anniversary celebration is around the world in jewelry. And we currently have actually quite a number of projects around the world. We have different exhibitions. We have one in Tokyo dedicated to the beautiful collection of men's ring that Yves Gastou, our friend, developed together with his son Victor. We have also a beautiful exhibition in Hong Kong on our second site dedicated to La Cloche, the French jeweler from the first half of the 20th century. And in Paris, right where we stand, we are in the last days of a beautiful exhibition called Designing Jewels, which is dedicated to the history of jewelry drawing from the Renaissance till the 20th century. And that exhibition will be followed in the few months, in the month of May, by a new project dedicated to carved stones called cameos and intaglios, where you will discover another exceptional collection of jewels. Of course, given the current situation, although it seems to be improving in many places, travel is limited, so I'm very, very frustrated not to be able to be with you on site in Tokyo, in Hong Kong, or in Shanghai. But I really want to take this opportunity to warmly thank all the teams of L'ÉCOLE, the teams of Van Cleef & Arpels, our friends, colleagues, our partners that have been associated with all these initiatives. It's a lot of work. I think it's a lot of achievements, great results, and I really want to thank you all for that commitment. And now I'm very happy to leave the floor to Élise Gonépon, who's the Managing Director of L'ÉCOLE Asia Pacific in Hong Kong. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Marie. Thank you, Nicolas, and a warm welcome to Hong Kong. Kong He Fat Choi, Kong Si Fat Sai, wishing everyone a year of the tiger full of energy and, of course, rich in jewelry discoveries. It's been 10 years, already 10 years of meaningful learning experiences with L'ÉCOLE around the world, and more than 2 years now that we have established our permanent home here in Hong Kong. This would not have been possible without the teams and without our faculty, our team of committed and passionate experts who share through all our programs their passion and their knowledge about jewelry with our community. So they are joining us now on Zoom. I wish to welcome them and thank them warmly for being here. Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for making the learning experience at L'ÉCOLE so singular with a unique human touch. As Marie expressed, we are very appreciative of the Maison support, our founding patron, and I wish to thank and to acknowledge in particular a gentleman here in the region who has witnessed the birth of L'ÉCOLE 10 years ago and who shares as a great ambassador the values of sharing and transmission. It's our president for Asia Pacific, Mr. Nicolas Luxinger, who's not only an ambassador, but also a fantastic exhibition curator and speaker for conversations. And I'm sure as travel starts resuming that you'll be able to meet him very soon Asia-wide to hear from him great anecdotes about the most spectacular historical jewels or royal collections. As we are getting ready together with the team to welcome back our alumni, students and visitors, let's take a tour together with a short video in this beautiful learning space that we have here in K11 Musea and which was designed by Japanese architect Su Fujimoto. We look forward to welcoming you back, Marie, and to welcome you very soon, Nicolas. Through our various programs, the courses, the talks and exhibitions, we've seen our community of alumni, art and jewelry lovers grow here in Hong Kong since we opened our doors. Wherever the school travels, we aim to be a place of cultural dialogue and exchange. This is happening through conversations with local experts or through amazing projects like the one Marie mentioned earlier, the Art of Gold, which was paying a tribute to the beautiful and refined jewelry craftsmanship tradition in the region. And at the moment, we are paying tribute to a beautiful dialogue between East and West with this exhibition, La Cloche Parisian Jewelers. This is the setting and the display where I'm sitting at the moment. Let's take a look and a closer look at the beautiful jewelry pieces on display currently for our audience in Hong Kong to travel to Paris, to the City of Light. L'École continues to broaden its horizons in Asia with a beautiful men's rings exhibition currently on display in Tokyo. Our audience in Japan can appreciate sampling an impressive selection of more than 400 rings from the late Yves Gastou collection. Let's take a look at the wonderful exhibition in Tokyo, which is currently on display at the 2121 Design Site Gallery from now until March. It's another beautiful example of the eclecticism and the diversity of jewelry, and we are very excited because this exhibition will come to Hong Kong after Tokyo in a few months for our audience here to discover and enjoy. Together with the opening of the Shanghai campus and different activations across Asia Pacific, we believe that L'ÉCOLE will continue to foster, encourage, and deepen the exchanges around the arts of jewelry between the East and the West. And with no further ado, I would like to leave the floor to our colleagues in Shanghai, and first to Laura Lai, Managing Director of Van Cleef & Arpels in China, to let us know more about this exciting project in Shanghai. Thank you very much.
大家好，我是 Laura。很遗憾，今天我无法亲临现场参与 L'ÉCOLE 珠宝艺术中心成立10周年的庆典，但我想透过这个视频向各位表示我的感谢，谢谢你们的到来。梵克雅宝在过去的1个世纪里面，一直都致力于高级珠宝的创作和创新，也对于艺术跟文化的推广与深耕不遗余力。今天我作为中国的代表，很荣幸的能跟各位分享这个振奋人心的消息。L'ÉCOLE 珠宝艺术中心将在上海落地，开展继巴黎和香港之外的第3个永久的校区。我相信，随着 L'ÉCOLE 珠宝艺术中心在中国的开展，将为中国广大的朋友们带来珠宝艺术更瑰丽的世界，打开全新的篇章，让我们热切期待。在这里呢，我也要隆重的介绍上海珠宝艺术中心的董事总经理 Julieta 于女士。Julieta 于丽蓉女士在2012年加入梵克雅宝，我很有荣幸在她的带领之下，组建了整个中国的市场传讯团队。她所组建的市场传讯团队，也为世嘉在这10年来在中国的发展做出了巨大的贡献。今天 Julieta 秉持着她对珠宝的热爱与专业的知识，以及对于教育、艺术、文化传承的使命感，转战跑道。我相信在她的带领之下，珠宝艺术中心将在中国扎下深厚的根底，也同时将对高级珠宝艺术在中国的推广结下累累的硕果。在2012年 ，L'ÉCOLE 选择在2月14号，也就是今天西洋情人节正式成立。这个1906年因爱结合的世家，特别选在这样浪漫的日子去开启它全新的篇章。我相信从今天开始，随着上海珠宝艺术中心的成立，也将为梵克雅宝世家以及整个珠宝艺术的推广打开全新璀璨的篇章。让我们拭目以待。我也期望很快的能够在上海跟各位亲自相见。预祝各位今天活动一切圆满成功，有一个愉快的夜晚。谢谢各位。
谢谢 Laura， 那也很感动。Laura 其实她是昨天晚上刚刚回到上海，然后现在在隔离当中，所以没有办法到现场跟我们亲自见面。那在开始我接下来的这个讲话之前呢，我也要跟在现场以及在线上的说中文的朋友们打个招呼，因为今天我们在世界各地有来自很多不同地方的小伙伴们，包括L'ÉCOLE的学生和我们的爱好者们，他们是。因为是国际友人，所以我可能接下来要讲英语。那大家如果想要听到中文的话，可以戴上耳机。我们的同传老师为大家做翻译。So thank you, Laura, and thanks very much for our friends all over the world. Tonight we are having a tale of 3 cities between Paris, Hong Kong, and Shanghai, on site and online. Now let's send our warmest greetings to our friends all over the world. 让我们挥手向世界各地的小伙伴们致意。At this moment, we are gathering at this peaceful place in the bustling downtown of Shanghai, a garden mansion with over a century history, twin villa. With the blossom vitality of spring, we celebrate the 10th anniversary of L'ÉCOLE School of Jewelry Art. Since it was founded 10 years ago, L'ÉCOLE has kept its initial aspiration, opened up a territory that remains largely unknown, adhering to the values of sharing and transmission, and to provide the public with a privileged insights into the oldest and most intimate all jewelry arts. I can't wait to welcome you in L'ÉCOLE, Shanghai very soon to discover, wonder, and learn about jewelry. Now let's get back to Paris again. So I will let my colleagues from Education and the Research Department to share more. Thank you. Bonjour, Paris.
Welcome back to Paris. Here comes the second part of our 10th anniversary celebration. We first offer you a talk about jewelry as an art form, which may inspire you for the interactive jewelry quiz, which we're going to do afterwards. So get ready. Here with me in Paris, Professor Guillaume Glorieux, our Director of Education and Research. Would you like to tell us, Guillaume, about how surprisingly jewelry is actually the oldest art form there is?
With pleasure, Inesita. Indeed, jewelry is the oldest art form in the world. That's impressive to realize that at L'ÉCOLE, School of Jewelry Arts, our everyday topic, jewelry, has accompanied humans for millennia. The first examples of jewelry date back to almost 150,000 years ago. This is even older than the very first cave paintings.
Guillaume, when and where were these first jewels found?
They've been found recently, a couple of years ago, between 2014 and 2018. And they were only revealed to the public last year. Archaeologists discovered them in Morocco, close to the city of Essaouira in the Bismoun cave. This is an essential discovery considering the dating of the objects found there, about 150,000 years ago, as I just said. Consequently, among the first signs of human adornments known. And the date is far before the first cave paintings known today in Indonesia, which are about 44,000 years old.
Can you describe these first examples of jewels found in Morocco? What exactly did they look like, Guillaume?
Yes, let's take a look at them. These ornaments are 32 small shells. Was it a necklace, several bracelets, a belt, shells sewn on garments? It's difficult to say. The shells are not impressive by either their forms or their preciousness, but they are meaningful. Archaeologists prove that they were worn and not just collected for food. Indeed, these shells show traces of perforation made by a stone tool. You can see them on the photo, especially on the left one. It's not easy. It's a very small detail, but archaeologists confirmed these traces. Shells also show evidence of use. Polishing and small striations are found as well. Maybe you can observe very thin parallel lines at the top of the image A. And finally, several shells show traces of red pigment, as you can see on the picture.
So these polishing marks, these traces of wear and use, and even color, are very crucial evidence, aren't they?
Yes, these modifications and the fact they've been found far from the coast, about 30 to 50 kilometers away, suggest that they were collected not to nurture people. Additionally, we will need a huge quantity of these seashells to collect just 1 gram of edible meat. Since they are so small, just 1 centimeter long, a real dexterity is needed to perforate the shells without breaking them. Therefore, the first men creating such jewels were true craftsmen.
This amazing discovery, is it unique?
Well, if the date of these first ornaments is an exception in the testimonies of this kind, shells are quite common. They are observed very often in different areas and in many recent discoveries. In 2004, a similar discovery has been made at another Moroccan site in Taforalt. The same kind of seashells have been excavated in the Pigeon's Cave. with the same kind of traces of wear and perforations. They are more recent because they are only, if I may say, 82,000 years old. Researchers suppose they were worn in necklaces, bracelets, or sewn on clothes.
Two discoveries like that in the same area. Is that strange?
You're right. There's probably a link between the two. The frequency of the presence of such jewels in this area suggests a common habit and even possibly a symbolic use in a cultural community. Shells are also the predominant ornamental identification across North Africa for tens of thousands of years.
So can we really consider these to be works of art? Are they art?
Yes, I am convinced of it. But you have to know there's a debate on this subject, and there are different points of view. On one hand, you have art historians who consider cave paintings as the first artworks in human history. On the other hand, archaeologists disagree with this idea. For them, ornaments and then jewels are the very first expression of the human soul and the oldest art form. And I have to add that shells are definitely the first adornment known for this period before animal teeth, as it has long been believed.
And do we know the exact function? What did they use these shells for?
The function of these primitive ornaments was probably social or religious. According to the anthropologists, they could correspond to the extension of social ties beyond the family unit or beyond a group. These altered shells could therefore reveal the impact of migrations and would be a first visual language, even perhaps a kind of identity. Ornaments could be one of the first bases of social exchanges and may have contributed to the development of human consciousness as a unique species. In other words, ornaments would express the fact of being human.
Speaking of being human, when do we think humans actually appeared? When did they differentiate themselves from other species?
That's a big question. The answer of several prehistorians is specific and sharp, with the emergence of the body ornaments, jewels, tattoos, and adorned clothes, and not tools, because the inventing of tools is something that we, humans, share with other species. To conclude, we can consider body adornment as art, and in a way, as the birth of culture. That's what seashells found in the basement cave tell us today.
Wouldn't this be a great subject for a really beautiful research project, Guillaume?
For sure, Inesita. And indeed, we just launched a research project on this topic, the origins of jewelry from an historical point of view, but also from an archaeological and anthropological one. As you know, L'ÉCOLE carries out research in order to nurture the educational contents. 10 research programs have been initiated since 2017 on subjects as diverse as the pearl trade between the Middle East and France in the early 20th century, the history of jewelry design from the Renaissance up to now. This is a topic of the current exhibition in Paris, which ends today. Jewelry from the Comédie Française, the historical French theater, jewelry from the 60s to the 80s, the links between jewelry and literature, and jewels in Asia from ancient times until now. The fruits of this research are put into developing new courses, exhibitions, and publications. This is part of the great adventure of L'ÉCOLE.
Thank you so much, Guillaume. So everybody, Are you ready now for the jewelry quiz? Ready to go? Please now think about taking out your smartphone or two and get ready to scan the QR code to join the game. If you're watching this live stream from your phone, you will need a separate device to connect to the quiz, a laptop or simply another phone. When you're preparing your phone, may I invite our scientific director, Olivier Segura, himself a most eminent gemologist, to join me to host this jewelry quiz.
Thank you, Inesita. Hello, everyone. We are really happy to talk together about science, about gems, about histories, together with this quiz we prepared for you.
Please scan that QR code that's showing right here now. Scan the QR code. Make sure that you tick the small box to agree with the terms and the conditions of Slido, the Slido platform, and then you'll be ready to play the game. The rules of the quiz are very simple. Type in a nickname, but that's important. We need a nickname so that we can find you, so we can identify you after you answer. There'll be 10 questions coming up. You'll just have to pick true or false. The 10 people who can answer the most questions correctly and in the shortest time will win. There's a short time lag between live filming and broadcasting. To provide your answer as quickly as possible, please pay special attention to the quiz on your separate device. Questions may pop up earlier than you expected. Are you ready for the game? Are you ready to get started? Shall we?
Yeah, our friend here also, I see some on their iPhones.
People are still signing on. We're up to 305.
Everybody's ready.
Wow,
Marie.
309.
Great, yes.
Woo.
Yes.
Lots and lots of people.
Yes, it's nice to see some friends here, some names, some friends joining from everywhere.
People are still signing on.
Yes, so many people. Wow, that's great to have you all involved in this quiz.
To celebrate our birthday of L'ÉCOLE together. It's a very emotional moment. 10 years, Valentine's Day. I remember that day so well, 2012. I had a ladybug land right on my left wrist.
Have you registered? Yes, okay.
What a day. 370, so many people.
Yes.
People are still signing on. Somebody give us an idea when we should, okay.
So we have a few seconds more for everyone to register. Wow. Oh, that's nice.
One of our greatest resources is the people. We're really very blessed to have Olivier. Olivier is one of the most eminent gemologists.
No.
Yes, he is. And if you're lucky, if you check a gem certificate for if you have handy gems at home, if you have a gem that might have come from France, you might even see Olivier having signed the certificate because he used to be the head of the French gemology lab.
Yes, we could have talked also about your passion for pearls, but it's the only day you don't wear pearls.
They made me take them off because they make noise for the microphone. They're right
that's
there.
That's why for our friends from the techniques.
I have here.
Okay, good. Great. How many? 420? Great.
Somebody's going to tell us when to go. We're waiting for a sign from somewhere. Maybe Nicola can decide.
Nicola is registering also on his phone.
436.
Wow.
436 people.
Marie is here also. Thanks.
Maybe I'll see if Louis is giving me a sign. Louis, you want to send me a WhatsApp and tell me when we should start?
Yeah. Okay. Great. Yes. It's
Start?
time to go.
Okay, we're going to start.
We have everyone.
Here we go. So the first question is for our Olivier Segura.
Yes.
Can diamonds be found in space? True or false?
Great. Let's start with the first question, talking about diamonds.
What are diamonds? To answer the question, you might want to think about what they are.
Diamonds can be found in space, so we are talking about diamonds. We know, of course, diamonds on Earth. This wonderful gemstone with wonderful properties, a lot of sparkling.
Found in a lot of different places on Earth. Hard to find, hard to get, but when you find it, you're very happy.
Very hard to cut. So you have a few seconds left to answer. Maybe when you hear me, it's already finished because we have a small delay.
Yes.
Here with the questions. Yes, here on our side, it's finished.
Very great.
Wow,
okay.
76% answered true. And that's right, that's true, as we believe that some planets are entirely composed of carbon in the form of diamonds. So of course nobody went there, but the NASA calculates that the planet is composed of carbon, and with the pressure, with the temperature, it could be in the form of diamonds. So the name is, here is a small planet, here in blue, the name is 55 Cancri E. So you can check on the website. Maybe it's an exoplanet, so very far from the Earth.
But the whole planet is diamond.
Well, it's calculated to be in the form of diamonds. Nobody went there. That's why we say that diamonds...
Elon Musk has that spaceship, so he's probably already heading for there to get
Maybe some have the idea to go there. Yeah. So we can say that the diamonds are the NASA's best friend.
We say diamonds might be a girl's best friend, but pearls are her true soulmate. And diamonds are NASA's best friend. So, my question, Olivier.
Yes, your question. Mine? I have a next question, but I cannot see it because my prompter is not right, but maybe on the screen
question.
We can go to the next questions. No, I can see the first line. Yes.
The next question is?
Next question is, no, I can see the first line, but we will have on the screen question 2.
It's the biggest diamond in the world.
We were talking about diamond also.
Was the biggest diamond in the world sent to the King of England, Edward VII, by mail? I think that's the question.
It is the question. Thank you, Inesita.
Is it true?
Yes, we can have it now online.
And here's the diamond. We have it right here. Only kidding.
No, yes, it's not the right one, but a replica.
Yeah, it looks like a big sweet potato that you would cook for dinner.
Yes, you don't say the size,
but you don't want to eat
weight.
this because the diamond's the hardest thing and you have no teeth left. But this is
3,106 carats.
This is a half a kilo of diamonds.
Yeah,
so was it sent by regular mail? Does anyone even remember what regular mail is? Was it sent by regular mail?
Yes.
Or was it sent with great fanfare and security?
It's a story we heard sometimes. So is it true or false, Inesita?
Well, if you took the Fascinating Diamond course, you know the answer. So people who took Fascinating Diamond 1 know the answer. Yes, it's true. The Cullinan diamond, the largest rough diamond ever found, was sent from South Africa to King Edward VII by regular mail, just in a regular box. And meanwhile, a ship with a fake, like this one, with a replica, with all kinds of security and armed transport, took the diamond, the fake diamond, from South Africa to King Edward VII in England.
What a great story, Inesita. And what became of these diamonds?
What became of them is, if you watch, if you look on Instagram, you can see Queen Elizabeth II wearing these, which they call Granny's chips.
You have some replicas here.
You can identify this often on Instagram with Queen Elizabeth II wearing it. I'm trying to get into this. There we are.
Yes. So you have the number 3 and the number 4 cut from the Cullinan, and I have here in hand the number 1. The largest diamonds, colorless diamond in the world, 530 carats.
And where is that one? That one is in the scepter of Queen Elizabeth II, which you can see at the Tower of London on the rolling carpet that rolls you around past it.
So you can imagine the size.
And many others. So there were quite a few other diamonds cut from that. And I believe they call it Granny's chips as a joke in the family. Yes. So, Olivier.
Yes, next question.
Are sapphires always blue? Trick question.
Oh, yes, good question, Inesita.
Spoiler alert, it's a trick question.
For all our gemologists and students.
Are sapphires always blue?
So we are talking about corundum. Sapphire is a part of the corundum family, it's a very large corundum family. Corundum is a very interesting material, so we use a lot in jewelry.
Yes, and used also for watches, to keep watches functioning right. Inside your watch, you can find sapphires. You can find sapphires. Of course, we have words that are sapphire evokes something in our minds when we hear the word sapphire.
That's why which is why it's a trick question. Clues.
Right.
Wow, 95% answered false.
Bravo. A lot of people have definitely taken our gemology classes.
Thank you, Marie. Yes, and the answer is true and false, because that was a tricky question. In fact, when we use the term sapphire alone, we are referring to the blue sapphires. However, colorless sapphires also exist, and this can be green, yellow, pink, like in these wonderful pictures.
And even colorless, with no color.
Even colorless, exactly. So the color of the palette of sapphires is extremely varied.
Exquisite gemstone, and there's a fun movie about that, about colored sapphires, on our podcast website.
And the colors are really amazing. The pink and the orange, the really bright yellow. Let's go to the next
question is...
This question is for you, Inesita. So we talk about the Incas, telling the Incas believed gold to be the sweat of the sun.
This is true or false, this next question. Did the Incas of South America, before it was the Americas, the people who lived there first, believe that gold was the sweat of the sun?
Traveling to America this time.
To the south. Now, if you think about what you've seen in antiquity of gold, you're going to find the answer in your mind. Have you seen how the ancient Egyptians used gold? Have you seen how the Scythians used gold? Have you seen exquisite ancient gold on your frequent visits to museums, I hope? Of course, our loyal friends and students are all going to museums all the time. Every Saturday, every Sunday, you're going to museums.
And we had a wonderful exhibition on gold in Hong Kong.
Yes, so the fantastic exhibition on gold would have indeed instructed you. So those who attended that exhibition know the answer. And very great.
92%
true and very poetic. They considered silver to be the tears of the moon, which is interesting because even in alchemy, sun is the symbol for gold and moon is the symbol for silver. It's very, very interesting. And we chose really incredibly evocative sculpture that's in the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York in gold, made by that culture to show you how that culture envisioned the importance and power of gold. So Olivia, you're next.
Yes.
Next question.
Next question,
the next
please.
Question is,
Are
if everyone's ready
for the next question.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are diamonds always white, Olivier?
So is it true
or false? Tick tock, tick tock.
Yes, few seconds to answer. Maybe you have already on your app.
In a way, it's a couple of ways that's tricky. But I think our loyal students and friends are all going to have 100% correct.
Will we have 100% correct?
The answer is also something that leads people to a lot of desire, because the answer of that causes people to really want the thing that's the result of the answer.
Diamond is a very famous gemstones. We know a lot of gemstones, but still a lot to discover. 96%, of course. Bravo. Answer, it's false. And you're right, that's false. Diamonds exist naturally in all colors. Pink, green, gray, blue. You can even find in red diamonds also.
If you're very lucky.
Yes, because it's so rare to see a pure red diamond. So wonderful. So besides, when we talk about white diamonds, we usually are mistaken. And we are in fact referring to colorless diamonds.
That's why I said it was a bit of a trick, because what we call a white diamond actually has no color at all.
But look at this picture, this wonderful, wonderful, amazing.
Beautiful, yellow.
Pure yellow diamonds.
Fancy, intense, right? Am I right?
Exactly.
I don't want to be... Well, it's hard to tell from the photo.
Fancy vivid, no? Fancy vivid, yeah, fancy vivid. Fancy vivid, it's more
even
vivid.
more vivid, yes. So our next question, if everyone's ready, is going to be...
It's my turn to ask you the question, sorry. So we have to talk about Egypt. We talk about ancient Egypt, and as silver was more precious than gold.
Was it or not? Was silver more precious than gold at certain points in Egyptian history? True or false? Think about, again, your frequent enjoyment of museums all around the world, which I'm sure you do, virtually and in person. When you see Egyptian art, what color do you see mostly? Except for certain exquisite works of art.
You give a lot of
here
clues.
And then. Well, everybody's working hard and good students. And remember, we say at L'ÉCOLE, your only homework, and that is serious, is to enjoy art more, to enjoy jewelry as an art form more, and to see it. Go see it. Get out and see it.
Thanks to our wonderful teachers.
Everyone gets A. Yes, everyone gets an A. Well, it is tricky. It's super tricky.
Difficult question.
Bravo, 64% true. Yeah. Indeed, silver was, for some periods in their history, the most valuable material for Egyptians. Why? And we're showing you an stunning, it looks so modern, Anubis piece from the Metropolitan Museum of Art that has gold and silver. It's got electrum too. Silver was the most valuable material. Why? Because it was far away. They didn't have as much access to it. It came even from Greece and Spain. Can you imagine? So because it was farther away, because it was harder to get, it was more expensive. In my lifetime, I've seen platinum. When I was a little girl, platinum was a dream. It was thousands
So
of,
rare.
and now platinum sometimes is less expensive than gold. So it's a function of demand.
Exactly.
And
Let's go.
rarity, of course. So the next question is for Olivier.
Yes, thank you, Inesita.
Is diamond the hardest of the precious stones? That's our next question. Is diamond the hardest of precious stones? True or false?
So now we are talking about diamonds again, but thanks to the properties of the diamonds, the hardness of the diamonds.
Think about what they're used for too.
Yes, we know the optical properties of the diamonds, and maybe you know less.
But what is a diamond used for? Deciding how hard it might be, thinking about what it's used for, right? Not just for jewelry, but for other very crucial functions in life.
If you know, maybe it's not very well known.
Well, they're going to know. If we don't know it so well, we're going to know it by the time we finish our little discussion. And people know.
Oh yes, they know.
Bravo.
You know, 96%. Yes, and you're right. There is a scale existing for assessing the hardness of minerals, which is called the Mohs scales. And the diamond obtains the maximum score of 10 on this scale. And only a diamond can scratch another diamond. So diamond is really precious, extremely resistant, but not completely unbreakable, because there is another properties of the toughness, and that's quite different from the hardness.
Thanks for that. We can actually cut them and have diamonds on our jewels.
And as you said, the hardness of diamond is very useful, as for example, for the tunnel, the channeling. The tunnel. It's very useful.
For drilling oil, for going to the dentist.
Yes, exactly. So everything is engraved with diamonds.
They even say that they might be able to use a piece of diamond to cure blindness someday for replacing the retina, right?
Yes, exactly. Very thin needles of diamonds.
So next question is from Olivier for me. What is it, Olivier? What do you have to ask me?
My question for you all and for you, Inesita, is in high jewelry, a jewel has only a single creator artisan.
Oh.
Is it true?
Is it true or is it false? Since you all have read Guillaume's book.
Oh yes, very famous one.
Yes, The Art of the Jeweler. And it's a little tricky in the title because it just says The Art of the Jeweler. Excellence in craftsmanship.
Do we have a translation soon in Chinese?
Well, since you've read this book or you will be reading the translation soon, the answer is in this book. And the book explains
so
very
Guillaume,
much.
you cannot answer this question.
And you also are in the jewelry workshop. It's similar to the high jewelry workshop, but this is the one just for L'ÉCOLE. And you could kind of see the answer around you here too. Because the fact is that making a piece of jewelry is analogous to choreographing a fabulous ballet at the opéra, or a symphony, a symphony of the most exquisite music in the world, a Mozart concert event. That's what it's like. You have to have a giant team of experts. It's a collective effort. A large number of expert craftsmen, designers, mock-up makers, expert gemologists, jewelers, polishers, stone setters, lapidaries, and on and on and on, in order to make one piece of beautiful high jewelry. Like a dancing of a ballet, like an orchestra symphony. It has to be a team. And one of my favorite things to tell students is it has to be a team of all stars, because they all have to be the very, very best at what they do, but no divas. There can't be any bad energy, or the jewel will never be made. So it has to be this team of very special people, very special artists.
And we are really lucky here at L'ÉCOLE to have the workshop a few floors
above us, yes, appropriately.
And when we are so lucky to visit them and to discuss with all of them, that's really impressive to see all the craftsmanship, the art of every talent.
It's an emotional experience, and I tell my students, we have to do the praising before we go upstairs. If you praise them in front of them, they turn red and they're not happy. So, Olivier, emeralds, can they be found in China?
No, we have the next question.
Oh.
Next question, we have to say,
to the next question.
for our friends
I
at the
was worried
techniques.
about our time. I know.
Yeah. Oh,
The next
we
question.
have to go
The
quickly.
next question is.
Yes.
Next question is, can emeralds be found in China, Olivier?
Oh, good question.
True
we know, of
or
course,
false?
we know emerald
True
from different
or
parts
false?
from the world. We know a lot of emerald from Colombia. We know
have
emerald from
where
Egypt.
else? Yeah, Africa.
From Africa, Zambia, Russia.
France. During the
Russia.
Middle Ages, they came from France even.
From Austria.
Austria?
Yeah, so very famous from the Middle Ages.
There's the long story about Cleopatra's mines, not
Oh,
true,
yes.
but there were Egyptian emeralds.
Exactly. The French crown from Austria.
Yes, Austria, absolutely. And even François Farge has identified quite a few from France.
Sweden.
Sweden even. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So what do you say?
Can they be found
78%?
in China?
Yes. And
78%.
bravo.
Maybe you know where the places are.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
And in fact, there is not one, but 2 emerald deposits in China. So they are maybe not so well known worldwide because they were discovered only recently. And at the beginning of the 1990s, emeralds were discovered in Malipo County in Yunnan province in the southwestern China. And the mine is located near the village of Dayaku in the Wenshan Autonomous Prefectures, about 30 kilometers above the border city of Ha Giang, Vietnam. Sorry for my pronunciation in Chinese.
Sounds pretty good to me, Olivier.
Yeah, and because we have so many friends here in China listening to me. And in 2009, a new deposit was also discovered in the Tashkurgan Tajik Autonomous County in the southwest region of the province of the Xinjiang. So very near the China's border with Pakistan, Tajikistan, Afghanistan. And in both deposits, there is really gems of very good clarity, excellent colors, and we probably see more and more Chinese emerald on the market.
Fabulous. Well, that's a good answer. Thank you for all those complicated words, Olivier.
Thank you, Inesita. Thanks you all.
So our final question is
my last question for you, Inesita.
Something very dear to my heart.
Yes, I know you love it. We're talking about the beautiful blue material used in this Qing dynasty headpiece. Is it
our final question, our last question, involves this headdress, which is in the Museum of Decorative Arts. It used to belong to the Rothschilds, and it's an art form that I discovered back in 2002 in the Hong Kong Arts Museum, the Hong Kong Museum of Fine Art. There was an exhibition of Chinese jewelry from the Han Dynasty through to the Qing Dynasty, and I saw this stuff and went crazy over it. So is it turquoise? True or false?
In some museum, when you are lucky, you can see some kind of jewelry. That's really amazing.
Here in Paris, there's a jewel with this form of material. Right in the case as you walk into the Galerie des Bijoux, of which L'ÉCOLE is the sponsor. You walk in and there's something that actually Samuel Bing was purchased from Bing by Weber and donated to the museum.
You're right. We have to go more and more to the museum, more often.
Here we go.
Ooh.
False 31. True,
69.
It's still gray, but more than 70% probably, because it was going to go to green. Yes, this beautiful blue material is kingfisher feather. It's a marquetry, exquisite cutting and shaping and sculpting. You can see bats, you can see the bats of happiness, the fu, you can see the ruyi fungus there, you can see different flowers with spinels. That is the kingfisher feather. It's tian sui, excuse my pronunciation, is the ancient form of marquetry with the kingfisher feather.
We really deserve micro photography to see from closer because it's very, very precise art.
Well, there's a movie. If you can get to our online movies, our website, there's a movie, Inspiring Feathers, with Ghislain, where we went into great detail inside the Museum of Decorative Arts with giant blown up pictures on our website. I know some people will be getting access for everybody. So,
great.
Who are the 10 winners? Are you one of them?
And the winner are...
Take a look at this chart.
Bravo.
And see who are the jewelry experts among us. Woo, bravo!
Wow. We are
very important.
Five people with 10.
Very important. Whichever phone you're using, screen cap the other. Screen cap with the other one, your winning pages as proof. And send that back to us through this email that's going to come up. Because our teammates will then contact you for a little surprise. So you need to screen cap and send that to us. And then we'll get back to you with that surprise. Thank you so much, everyone. With emotion, happiness, a little sadness, this brings us to the end of our 10th anniversary celebration. We hope you enjoyed.
The start of it.
Yes, at the end of our online. Yes, that's right. We thank you. We hope you enjoyed this kickoff to our 10th anniversary celebration. It is a bejeweled moment with all of us. Thank you so much, Nicola. Thank you, Marie. Thank you, Olivier. Thank you, Guillaume, and thank you, everybody out there joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
To know more about L'ÉCOLE, to know more about the happenings of this birth year, please feel free to click the button below to subscribe to our newsletter or follow us on our social media channels. L'ÉCOLE is on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and of course, our new WeChat account. So follow us, join us. We'll see you soon, we hope, in Paris, Hong Kong, or Shanghai. Stay safe. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.